Rising with the mountain tops, flowing with the ocean. We are the protectors, our spirits have awoken. We are the protectors. We are the protectors.
We're here to deliver a message to the multinational corporations and the nation states to take into consideration the lives not only of the people whose needs they're trying to meet today, but also for the future generations.
Rising with the mountain tops, flowing with the ocean. We are the protectors, our spirits have awoken. We are the protectors. Sing that along. We are the protectors. Rising with the mountain tops.
We are here to rise against climate capitalism, and some of the folks on the inside here, they are for positive, good things. There are, some workshops in there and panels about health and climate impacts, but there's also people in there that are putting forth solutions that are harming indigenous communities around the world, like the cap and trade programs and the RED programs, that they send in these folks that are, basically finance people in with contracts for indigenous people to sign, the forest dwelling folks, with millions and millions of dollars. And so people, indigenous people that are more interested in, consumerism than the relationship between Mother Earth and Father Sky want that money, while the indigenous people that maintain a strong connection to Mother Earth, that listen to the spirits of the forest, that respect Father Sky, they are saying, no, we do not want these contracts. And some of these contracts are 99 years long. These allow the fossil fuel industry to continue. Like my community, I live near the Chevron refinery in Richmond. I see it every single day. And these contracts simply allow the fossil fuel industry to continue to emit greenhouse gases and toxins into communities like mine. It allows the infrastructure to continue to be built, which is a total waste of resources right now, when we really need to have a just and managed transition off of fossil fuels immediately. I have this sign about Jerry Brown because here he is, he's calling himself a climate leader. He's proclaiming that he has the answers. He's getting ready to leave as the governor of California and launch into the global climate movement to say that cap and trade and these carbon mechanisms are the answer, and they're not the answer. He allowed thousands and thousands more drilling permits for the fossil fuel industry. He allowed 17% more offshore oil drilling. He's allowing fracking to continue. There's schools where children are being impacted with autoimmune diseases, cancers, and asthma. What he's saying and what he's doing are two totally different things. As California, Oregon, Washington, and British Columbia are on fire, as the big hurricane is heading toward Georgia and North Carolina, as people around the world are dying in floods and droughts and lack of water and food security. This has to stop now. And people like us are saying, we're done with this.
We've come here because Governor Jerry Brown has invited us to this trade show, a global trade show where he's invited all the business leaders, captains of industry, and all the wonderful people who are intensifying the CO2 concentrations in our atmosphere, but also destroying the rights of indigenous peoples, destroying the rights of farm-based communities, urban communities, the poor, communities of color. They are planning to really financialize harm. all the harm that takes place where poor communities of color, indigenous communities are put at risk, is being negotiated in the form of actual money. A transaction that will allow the biggest fossil fuel corporations, the biggest polluting, destructive dig, burn, drive, dump industries to further capitalize on their concentrated profits and increase their market share around the world to transfer clean technologies and healthy energy systems in the form of clean coal and safe nuclear and carbon neutral biomass and big mega hydro projects that are so green when in fact they're killing many of our members of our community in our backyards. So what we have here today is an alternative proposal. That people, communities living on the front lines of not only the ecological crises, but the industrial systems causing that crisis, and the capitalist, colonialist, extractivist systems causing that crisis, have been cultivating solutions that can bail us out of this crisis. Solutions that are not only economically just, but serve to create jobs that protect the planet, that protect our health, and serve the interests of communities. We have three clear messages. One, our futures will not be traded. Two, our communities are not for sale. Three, the billions and trillions of dollars being invested in climate solutions needs to be redirected towards real community-led solutions and food sovereignty, energy democracy, zero waste, and a just transition towards local, living, caring, sharing economies that are controlled by workers and communities.
Concrete for the children. We are rising like warriors into these streets. We are rising like flowers out the concrete. Come on now. We are rising like warriors into these streets. We are rising like flowers out the concrete. For the children, we are rising like warriors into these streets. For the women, we are rising like flowers out the concrete. For the children, we are rising like